right. Eighth grade curriculum. I kind of felt like maybe just to give everybody a general idea of what we do, just jumping into the curriculum might be helpful. Guys, there are a bazillion ways to homeschool, so don't think that any of these suggestions or plans or anything are like something that you have to do. It's something that we've adapted through the years, just, to how my kids learn, to what I've learned about different curriculum, to what I know what works, what doesn't. So I'm going to start with my 8th grader, Hartley. We'll start with the basic courses. One of my favorite writing programs, and actually 2 out of my 3 kids are using Essentials in Writing. She'll cover grammar and composition through this. Pretty cut and dry. The next subject is her science. So this year, she really likes to read her own science and kind of discuss with me what she learns. So we chose, you can see this one's got like a lot of pictures and stuff in it. So she actually chose Master Book's Anatomy. And her and I will kind of, browse through this. She'll do most of the reading, and then she will join in with her brothers in doing a lot of experiments. They're also studying anatomy, but they are doing a different level. So basically, the children will be in different, advanced subjects. So she'll be in like a higher advanced, and they will probably be obviously in a lower level course, but our labs will tie in together, being about the human body. So that's her science. She's taking American government this year instead of history. I mean, technically that's a social studies. We chose Knotgrass, Uncle Sam and You, which is a really, really great book. It's a textbook, so it tends to get a little dry after some time. So my plan, just knowing how she learns, is to, when she starts to get a little burnt on just reading this every day and talking about it, we will go to the Knotgrass Citizens Handbook, which has a bunch of different documents for the kids to actually read. Old folk tales and songs, articles, biographies, stuff like that. Still will tie in with government, but it's just kind of a different thing than this. And then we also have this activity guide, which she'll just basically practice like a lot of the vocabulary she's learning, doing, word searches, or writing little like journal entries and stuff like that. Also, I have tied in her government with her literature, which would also be considered a component of her language arts. But I do tend to follow the theme of connecting the literature from language arts to the social studies topic. Sometimes if we're doing history, she might read historical biographies and stuff like that. So this year we chose a few books. The Hiding Place, which she is reading right now. This is a good one. It's called The Wave. She'll be doing that one. A Letter to Mrs. Roosevelt is another one. Breaking Stalin's Nose. An Uncle Eric book. Are you liberal, conservative, or confused? This just kind of touches on the different political parties in a pretty neutral stance. So that's how I kind of do her social studies course and kind of keep it fresh and new by adding in all these different elements to it. Math, not as pretty of a cover as some of these. She's actually taking an online math with this program called Unlock Math. She'll basically log into our computer every day. It will have all of her lessons on the computer, and she also has access to a teacher, a tutor, practice problems, and the ability to customize the way that she moves through pre-algebra and algebra. So Unlock Math was a new one for us. In the prior years, we actually used teaching textbooks, but she needed more help than just a textbook and a computer program. She actually wanted access to having a teacher. So that's why we chose Unlock Math, and that will be very helpful as she moves into the higher level math. Another thing she is taking online, where she has a teacher, is Spanish 2. She's actually taking the second high school credit. So she did Spanish 1 in 7th grade, and she's doing Spanish 2 in 8th grade. So this is also online. She has access to a teacher, so her whole entire course will be online. No teaching from me. I just basically supervise what she's doing. These are just some additional things. She does vocabulary study. These are called vocabulary cartoons. These just better serve with, building her vocabulary, and will ultimately benefit her when she takes the SAT one day. So these are just some extra things we throw in on days where she might not have as much to do. She's finishing this book, which is a great one, The Fallacy Detective. This is a book to recognize bad reasoning. So this actually is a pretty fun book. Definitely recommend checking that out for your middle schooler. She also will be taking a little mini physics course through the co-op that I'm running with some of my science mamas. And she will also be doing monthly hikes with our nature study group. So aside from her joyful elective of taking care of a horse, learning how to manage care of a horse, keeping up a barn, she's actually going to have a couple of projects in the barn, so I do consider that part of her education too. And just regular, normal, everyday responsibilities. That's about her 8th grade year in a nutshell. So hopefully this was kind of helpful to you, just to see kind of how I gather all my materials and kind of put them together to make one school year.